for your reports, and then finish. And then we see the backup is running. This software is pretty great because we used to back up files in a way where we would copy all the information, or like maybe 10,000 files or 1,000 files at a time, to your hard drive, compress and encrypt, zip, and upload. Well, this is much more efficient because when it finds a file that is new or is changed, which I found one here, it's going to upload about 10 megabytes at a time and compress and encrypt and just push upload while it's uploading. So that's one of the reasons why it is 40% faster. That method is also good because if you have a huge file, you don't have to copy your system first and then compress it, encrypt it, and then upload it. So we're very proud of this new engine, and it's very efficient. If there's anything, we have, far less people saying that they might have had an issue before and they weren't sure if it was backed up, but they had big files or backed up. This is very reliable, and people are very happy with it. All right, so we have some of the restore features. The restore tab in the software will go to a calendar. So based on the bold date that is displayed in the calendar, I can click on that bold date, and I can recover anything in the backup up to that date. And when this is refreshing, you're seeing it is counting the files. It's important to understand that we're refreshing data from every machine we backed up under this one backup account. So it's kind of like building a catalog file on the system to make all the files ready for recovery. But it's also displaying information from other systems. And I'll show you that just in a second. We also have our classic view, which I'll show next, which allows you to do a recovery based on a list view as well as delete folders and files. So now we have a bunch of bold dates. Hopefully you can see those just fine. And then you see all my systems here. What I was talking about earlier is you can select one file for recovery on one system, and then you can select another on another. So I can select any one of these files here. I can then go down to another server that I backed up as an image, and I can recover something from there. So, and then I can do basically a simultaneous recovery of two machines. This next screen here is how to do a recovery. You would choose original path. You want every folder to be shown where it was before. Basically, organization. So I'll just go with that. And this will basically download the files, decompress them, decrypt them, and now they're available. So you see it's pretty fast for that. And I get a folder for each recovery that I did because I told it to include original path. So that's very convenient. Okay. The classic view, I'll show you that real quick. Again, we have our systems. This is where I can go and delete if I want to. I can also expand anything in here and show you a different version of a file. I can grab that and I can recover it. Same way as before. All right, I'm going to jump over to the My Account system, which is right here. So this is where you or a customer can go and log in and get reports based on backups. You could do a date range search. You could do details. Sorry about that. I need to log in one more time. I got a question. When restoring a file from backup, does it retain NTFS permissions? No, it doesn't, because we need to make sure that when you recover a file from us, you're able to access it from anywhere. And what it does is it gives you a copy of that file without the permissions on it. So that's better for recovery, much faster. As you can see here, we have all of our systems. So I can go to any one of those systems, and I can choose to do a recovery or share any file or folder up to 500 megs. If you need to recover any file folder larger than 500 megs, you just use the software client. In the search field here, I can type in the name of a file, get all files of that name. I can do an extension, and I can simply click Share next to any folder or file, type in the name of it. I can then customize my email message. You can be a little cute with the messages. And then you go over here, type in their first name and then their email address, and then you click Share. Now after you share a file, it's going to show you the files you've already shared, which might be helpful to you to wait until someone has retrieved the file, and then you can hit Unshare. But also, we have the other button here, View Shares. We can unshare the file if you feel it shouldn't be shared any longer. Other things like my account, change your password or maybe change your email address or cancel account. You guys have the ability to show which of those options show up for your customers. Okay, so what's next here, Ken? What do you want to?
Can you show the Pulse console?
Okay, so the next thing we want to show here is we have the Pulse console, and this is where you can basically monitor all your online backups and also set up a backup policy. I got a question real quick here. Can users have access to the shared facility? If you give your user the username and password, yes, they can. But if you're managing it for them, then you'd have to be the person who controls that. So Pulse lets you install the Pulse agent on a machine with online backup software also installed, and it lets you monitor your backups and also create a backup policy to back up certain files. You can see here we have deployments. I just want to show you that this is a username and this is a Windows computer name. That's how we tell the Pulse agent is installed and what computer name is on it. We also have reporting down here below. Shows all my backup accounts and Pulse users and client machines. So I'm going to go over here to deployments, and you can see we have several machines in this list here, and these are all machines that Pulse is managing. And I can go in one of these. I can assign a policy that I've already created, like this, Alex-test. I can change the policy, and if I need to, I can view any events that have happened. Events are kind of like reports. This is saying backup brand that Pulse cannot analyze. It's probably something like maybe the Pulse service got halted or maybe the machine was turned off, something like that, because it does run as a service. Another button here to view backup sessions. So there's lots of detail that you can use to drill down if there is an event that happened. I'll go over here to the backup policies. Here's where you create backup policy. One common backup policy I've seen people create is C:\users. Take that policy and they'll have it assigned to most of their PC or laptop deployments. And if you have a server and you actually know the folder path of that server, you could create a policy for that, type in the folder path or maybe even a file path if you'd like to, and then apply that policy to that machine. So very quickly, it's good for reporting on your backups, for online backups, and it's good for creating a policy to do backups there too. Okay, we'll go back to the dashboard. So it's that's kind of like a brief overview of what we have. Additionally, there is one more thing I want to show you. This is one of our partners. We do give you an e-commerce website, so you can take credit card payments immediately on your website. Customer can download the software, start backing up. They can get more information. They can download the software. They can fill out a support ticket to talk to you. I have an issue or a billing issue. You can reply to those things inside the admin dashboard. And with the admin dashboard, I'm talking about the place where you can also go and create accounts. Let me show you that right now. So here's all the backup plans that actually would show up on your e-commerce page that we built for you. And of course, like I said before, we're setting this up to try and help you take payments and get the money for it right away. Express doesn't get any of this money, it all goes in your bank account. Let me go back here. So like I said, you can change backup plans, you can change what's active, what's not active. There's a trial plan on there. You'll be able to go here and look at your users who have signed up. If you need to upgrade them, you can, or cancel them, change their email address, reset password. You can navigate into each one of these users and see how much data they've backed up. So I'll go view actions here, view details, and you see that this person's backed up 61 gigs. So with the reporting in the My Account system, with this, should give you a pretty idea of their activity. This has other things in here like view CTCs, I mean it's customer type code. This is related to the backup plans that you have showing on your e-commerce web page. As you can see, here's the plans again. There's the coupons you can have loaded on your e-commerce page if you want to do that. Content, you can change some of the content and the layout if you like. Support tickets, if someone clicks on the Contact Us page and fills it out, you can see it here and then you can respond to it. You can go into these and add a comment to that customer and then say to notify them. Kind of like a little CRM tool or a little ticketing system. There's a mass emailing tool in here you can use. some campaigns. If you want to do a marketing campaign, there's different templates you can use. The gateways basically is the credit card merchant system. And whenever we come out with some changes, you might want to hit update application to see what changes we've made. So that's just a brief overview. Ken, if you want to mention anything if I missed it.
No, that's good.
Okay. One more tab here is the mobile portal, m.manage.offsitebackup.net. You can then go there from a smartphone as well and recover or share files. All right, I think I'll turn this over to Ken.
Well, that probably brings us to the end of the webinar. So any other questions or comments or things that you'd like to hear talk about before we wrap up the session today, guys? You've got a good cast here. You got the head of sales, you got the head of sales engineering here, you got the head of marketing, you got the CEO. So use the opportunity. Jonathan says for a default laptop backup install, what is backed up? Depends on what you'd select, Jonathan. I mean, usually people would back up, like John said earlier, like the users folder on the root of the C drive is a common thing. But I don't really think there is a good. I don't think you can generalize about what people do. Some people back up the entire laptop. Some people back up just a small amount of data. So as far as your marketing this to your customers, obviously more is better. So you would probably want to position to your customers that they should back up everything. Jeffrey says, what am I really missing by being on a Mac? You're missing the bare metal backup, Jeffrey. So all the sharing functionality, all the cloud backup, you get all of that, but you don't get the bare metal backup. Chris says, about setting plans.
I'm going to assume that you probably mean pricing.
Oh, it's this next one. Does the reseller do this, or the people at SOS do it for the reseller? Either or. So we usually set it up for you initially, and then we teach you how to edit it yourself. Ryan says, can you send me a copy of this webinar for our text to look over? Ryan, absolutely. If you get in touch with one of the partner specialists, they'll be able to get this webinar to you. Errol, for archive files, can they be accessed directly from the cloud, or will they need to be restored first? You can do basic previewing of content in the cloud, Errol. So if it's an image, for example, you can get to it in the cloud. But if it's a more complex file type, you'd need to download it first. Ryan says, can I get the email address or contact info? Yep. What's the free call number, Jeff?
877-896-3611. And that was who? That was Jeffrey?
That was Ryan Chester. Jeffrey says, can this be used as a syncing solution for file sharing for mobile employees? Jeffrey, no it can't, but the SOS Collaborate product can, which is a sister product to SOS Backup. So ask your rep about SOS Collaborate. Jonathan says, by the way, you cannot rebrand a .co domain in case other resellers are wondering. Okay. Chris says, is there a trial period as a reseller to take this for a test drive? No, Chris, there's not, but you can get trials of the individual product lines, but there's not a trial period for the reseller program itself. And that number again is 877-896-3611, 3611. One of the promotions Jeff was talking about earlier that I think is a great one is the if you buy before the end of March, you get 3 months free. So there's a program where you can pay for 10 months and get 13 months of service.
Yeah, our typical annual, there's two basic ways that you can pay for this. One is monthly. You have a low monthly rate similar to your cell phone bill. And the other is just paying for it annually. And typically as an incentive to pay annually, we offer 2 free months. Right now through the end of the month, we're adding an additional month to that. So the equivalent of 3 free months by paying for 10. So it's a nice opportunity if that fits your model.
Tony's asking where you can find out more on that promotion. Tony, if you call in and talk to one of the partner specialists and just ask them about the March specials that we're running. And Jeff's furiously writing down your name right now, Tony, so he's probably going to be in touch.
Yeah, Tony, Rich is your partner specialist, and I'll ask him to give you a call right after this, and he can run down through. There's several different options that are available, so you can pick the one that's most meaningful for you. But I think, well, when we were rolling out this promotion, and Ken was asking what we were looking to do, I said, there's something that is going to really resonate with everybody, and something that is guaranteed to piss you, Ken, off. So I think we found a good mix on things that that does both of those things, and we'll be happy to fill you in on them.
Thank you, Jeff. And I mean, look, one other good thing, from a partner standpoint, is it's a relatively small crew here in, the LA headquarters. We're 100 people, 130 people in the company in total. But Jeff and his partner team, there are like 13 of them in the department. So, you can always call and actually talk to Jeff, or talk to any of his reps. You've all got a partner specialist assigned to you. But if you can sort of talk to anybody. John Wagner's available. He's our chief sales engineer again. So if you've got techs that have got more advanced questions, John Wagner's your guy. If you're looking for marketing material or sales material, Shaylin Herrick, head of business marketing, she's the person to talk to. I'm always available. So I got a question for everybody. What's stopping you from jumping into the SOS Partner Program? What can we talk about? We've got a few more minutes left here. What questions or concerns or things, what's holding you back from pulling the trigger and getting on board with this program? Jonathan's on the line. He's having some great success by the sound of it. Yeah. We'd love everybody on this line to have the same success story that Jonathan's got. Tony says, I need to review this with upper management, but it looks great. Okay, Tony. And Jeff can be very helpful with that kind of thing. So if there's material you need or help you need, then put Jeff to work. Errol says, I've got the software. We'll be installing trial tomorrow. Okay, great. Tom says, sign me up. I like it, Tom. Man of action.
Jeff can help you with that.
Jonathan says he'll be very happy to sell to all of your customers if you don't join the program.
I think Jonathan already started on that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Chris is going to do it, just about scheduling the time. Tony says, I'd like to see NDFS restored as a future feature if possible. Tony, we'll look at that again. Like I said, what John said earlier, I endorse. For online backup, stripping out the ACLs is usually better and more flexible, but that's definitely something we can look at again. Chris says, to fully deploy a reseller, what is the time requirement and human resource requirement? It's usually like it can be 3 days and it can be 2 weeks. On average, it's probably, in that sort of 8 or 9 day mark.
Yeah, realistically, Chris, what will happen once you sign up, you'll get an email saying, thank you for coming online. It'll have the few things that we need from you to get you branded, such as your logo, unencumbered domain, that type of thing. It really takes about 15, 20 minutes on your behalf. Then our partner delivery team really takes it from there. And they get the bills going. They send it to you for approvals, and then you're largely in the online backup business. The incremental effort on your part is really minimal, and you're into this very quickly with a low barrier to entry.
And believe it or not, the biggest problem that partners have getting started is they don't bother to fill out the launch survey. So when you do sign up, look out for the project kickoff survey and fill that in, and we can have you up and running in literally a few days once we've got all that information complete. Brian says he's